I've got three wood carvings here that I really like. This is a cane. This was a little toughie to do here, out of oak. And then I have these two. This is a flower design for my wife in a walking stick. And this is another walking stick. I made it with poplar. I wanted to see if I like working with poplar for carving. I don't like it. But I'm going to stick to oak and maple. Those two I know I like. I've done some hickory, I like that too. But this ain't about the carving. It's about the wood finish. It's about the stain. I used General Finishes dye stains, a water-based dye stain. What I like about that stuff, non-flammable, doesn't stink. I did these in the kitchen. I sat at the kitchen table and dye stained these leaves. If you've ever done watercolors, you know how this works. You get things a little bit wet and you put a drop of color on and it just goes like that. Well, I want to show you how I did that with this. The thing you got working against you is the grain. This stuff wants to follow the grain a lot, but you can make her work. I liked it, and I think you will. General Finishes dye stain. Then I put a top coat on it. I think these look real good. A lot of advantages to using a dye stain. Now, another reason I used the dye stain, I could have painted these, use an airbrush or something, but I was desperate to see the wood grain, and so I didn't want to lose the wood grain with paint, and so I used these dye stains. You need to watch this video. You'll see how nice this works. What I want to show here is how to use General Finishes dye stain. And hopefully when I'm all done, this is a pretty stick. So I'm going to use the General Finishes light brown stain and do the center of the stick. Try to keep it off the leaves the best I can. And in addition to that stain, I like this because it retains the properties of the paint. It isn't just plain water, and it allows me to keep the piece wet and allows the dye stain to kind of seep into the wood the way it wants to. On these sticks, I'm going to use Armor Seal. The reason I like to use Armor Seal is I've got a lot of time. In some ways I don't like it because it takes 3 days to finish the project if you're putting 3 coats on it. But this is really a nice product to work with. It flows on nicely, easy to keep up with, gives you time to clean up runs, especially when you're working on intricate work like this. it was in my mind to use ENDURO-VAR. Why I would like ENDURO-VAR, no smell. In addition to that, another reason I like ENDURO-VAR is I could do 3 coats in one day, but it's a little too thick and sets up a little too fast for me, so I'll save that for my tabletop in the kitchen or something like that, or some furniture that I can keep it level real good. But this is what I'll use today on these sticks that I've carved. Here's a little tip for you. Imagine you probably already do this. Who stole my... Here it is. I like to poke a little hole in this little ridge here on my paint cans. Now the reason I do that is because I open and close these cans a lot, and I'm in and out of there with the brush, and then all that sealer gets in that groove. Well, this way it drips back in. That's why I do that. It's a good project to do with COVID-19 all over the place. Get this on here, like I'm doing. Now I know Stinnett, he wouldn't like the way I'm doing this, because he's more of an artist than me. I don't think he'd care that much. So look how nice that is. I'm really pleased with these dye stains. I like to call them watercolors for the way they work. They go on so nice. I've heard some nice comments about how they use them for different applications. But for me, I've done a lot of sticks, and I love using the General Finishes dye stain, or the what I call General Finishes watercolors. They work just fine. You should get you some of this stuff.